So I've lost my hat. Every other fucking video we do, bro. See if I can do a video and successfully keep my hat on. Hey, what's going on, guys? So today's video, a little piece of fitness heaven I want to share with you. We're gonna go over the Bulgarian bags. Right now, most people have never seen Bulgarian bags, and those of you guys who have seen them, you really don't know what to use them for. It's a very, very, very small percentage of people that actually know how to utilize these things. They're not new, they just haven't been used by anybody mainstream. There's a few people out there starting to use them. That's how I came across them and put some research in them, and they're a phenomenal tool. So everybody's always asking me, like, Jay, how do I get rid of this, right? Or how do I train my abs? And you see a lot of people, they do a million crunches, they do a bunch of ab work from the ground. And the problem I've always had with a lot of ab exercises is, if you watch one of my previous videos, we talked about the difference between open chain and closed chain exercises. Right now, technically, I am closed chain, meaning my foot's connected to the ground. There's no separation of my foot to the ground, where if I was sitting on the floor and my feet were up, that would be an open chain exercise because there's no connection with my feet to the ground. Why is that important? Well, when you're going to stabilize the muscles around the core, right? Any muscle that connects into your pelvis is considered a core muscle, right? So obviously your abs, your quads, your glutes, your inner thigh, your outer thigh, your lats, they're considered a core muscle because they all connect into the pelvis. Your chest muscle is not, your biceps are not, your neck muscles are not, because it's not connected to your pelvis, right? So when I'm going to create stability around the hip joint, right? I want to create stability around that joint by stabilizing it in a full spectrum, right? So when I'm on the floor and I'm doing an exercise, like let's say I'm doing crunches on the ground, right? I always try to describe it without getting down, but whatever, it doesn't work. So I'm going up and I'm down, right? And I'm trying to control what's going on. So as I'm trying to control what's going on over here, I really have no way to, yes, and look, my feet are on the floor, but there's no pressure going into them, right? Or like, let's say I'm right here, right? So I'm doing my crunches. There's really no way for me to activate my glutes. So what happens is my psoas, my hip flexors, my inner thighs, they take over and they start getting me tight and flexed in like this, which eventually leads to lower back pain down the line, primarily from the psoas muscle, hip flexor, right? So that is an open chain exercise. This is an open chain exercise, right? One of my favorite, side oblique crunches. That is also an open chain exercise, right? If you do a Russian twist, yes, my feet are on the ground still, but there's no pressure. So I'm here going side to side. That is technically an open chain exercise because my feet aren't connected to the ground. Where, in one of the last videos we talked about, fucking hat came off already. A closed chain exercise, if I was doing an overhead Russian twist, if you've seen that video where we used the plate to demonstrate how to do that twisting exercise, my feet are connected to the ground. I'm stabilizing from the front side and the back side of the joint, right? So I'm able to get that full control. I'm able to stay within balance. I don't get the back problems. Look at most of your sports. Golf, boxing, tennis, anything that involves swinging or throwing, any of those sports, running, ice skating, all that shit. You're in a closed chain motion. So we're trying to work something where our abs are involved or intended to be engaged when we're doing shit from the standing position, but we're training them on the ground where we can only stabilize one side of the joint, not the other. Not the other. That's where a lot of the back pain comes into. So one of the reasons why I like the Bulgarian bag is because it allows you to create true ranges of motion rotational wise from the hips, but at the same time, your heart rate goes through the fucking roof. It's great for just ripping you up in the midsection, getting you super strong on the core, and increasing your range of motion. So this is a 17-pound Bulgarian bag. Usually I use anywhere from 25 to 42 pounds for this exercise. Why am I not using that today? I'm fucking tired. This is like the 5th video we're shooting. I ain't doing that shit. You guys will get the idea, all right? If you ever want to see me do a heavy one, come to class, damn it. You can see me live in a living person. But let's go over this exercise, right? We'll do a couple reps real quick. I do mine slightly differently. Maybe there's some other people out there that you might have done this. At the end of the day, it's all the same shit, right? You say tomato, I say tomato. Going side to side, right? So what I'm doing with this exercise, a couple things you can see going on, right? One, I'm landing head over foot. So I'm able to utilize my outer leg muscles, my glutes, my outer thighs, all that stuff to stabilize, control what's going on, which keeps me from doing this. When I start doing this with my knees and my hip flexors, it's all lower back pain. This exercise naturally forces me to bow out the legs and create that rotational motion. So, one more time, I'm going side to side, outer quad on the right, outer quad on the left. outer glute on the right, outer glute on the left, right? See how I'm using the lats and obliques to coil on one side, right? So the coil here, and I'm stretching on this side, and then I'm coiled to my other side, stretch on the other. Now, stay there, I'm gonna walk towards you. Why is this important? Jay, why are we doing all this rotational bullshit? Well, let's take a look at this, right? What am I doing? I'm adding a slight step. What is this? This is basic fucking locomotion. This is you moving through space. Running, walking, jogging, all that stuff. This is an exaggerated version of the rotational motion that we use, or that we're supposed to use, to create forward motion. All forward locomotion and movement is created through rotational motions. That's a whole different video. Try to prove me wrong. Now, that is the base version, right? Side to side, basic mills. M-I-L-L mills. Yes, like a windmill, right? One hand's high, one hand's low. Statue of Liberty style, torch and book, right? So this way, it lands effortlessly on my shoulders. What do most people do? They keep both hands low, and they start bending their back, and they feel like the bag is staring on their shoulders. One hand high, one hand low, right? Easier catch. Now, that's gonna get really easy really fast. By the way, the trick to this, so you don't get your grip, so you don't kill your hands, you pinch above the grips right here to get into it. It saves you some of the grip work, right? Otherwise, your grip's gonna fucking burn like a mofo, right? Unless you're young and single, then your grip probably won't burn. You'll get that joke later on. So, I'm gonna do a double swing now, right? Figure eight, and I'm back. Figure eight, and I'm back. Wrestlers, this is gonna be great for you guys, right? Look how I'm going. All the spinning and rotating. Your heart rate's gonna go through the roof with this one. Right now, I'm gonna come to the side. Now, a lot of people have a hard time with this because they're trying to figure out where does the bag go. They do this. The bag is behind me. They're like, fuck, Jay, how do you do that? Watch where, I'm gonna do a couple reps. Watch where the bag goes in relation to my head. When I'm swinging around, the bag stays in front of my body. When I'm ready to rack it to my shoulders, then I let it come behind the head. So use my head and my shoulders as a reference point, right? You see how I'm right here? It's staying in front of my body. When I'm ready to rack it, I come behind the head. Same thing again, right? I'm going, I'm turning my hips, my arms are staying straight, it's in front of my body. I'm ready to rack it, I bring it behind the head. Which leads me into the next variation for these, right? Stay there. Instead of just doing one rotation, you can go as many as you want to get crazy with, right? So, I'm gonna do 15 in a row on each side. This is gonna be shit, right? Ready? Just going, I'm turning. You see how I'm using my hips to turn and drive. I like to take a little more of an aggressively narrow stance. So this way, I really have to use those leg muscles to get me around. I wasn't counting. So, a lot of saying, try doing that shit and talking at the same time. Where a lot of people mess up is they do these wide stances, right? And then you start slipping back into using your inner thighs to stabilize. You don't want to do that. At a minimum, if you look, my feet are directly underneath my shoulders. That is the maximum width you're going to want to go for on this one, all right? But Jay, my feet keep moving out. Keep readjusting them. Move that shit. Watch again, right? My feet are slightly more narrow, my shoulder width apart. So this way, I really have to utilize the leg muscles to drive and come around, right? Those are Bulgarian bag mills. One more variation I'd love to do for this. This is a 17-pound bag, right? I have 3-pound bags, and I think the heaviest one I have is 85 pound. So, you see the ghost? Maybe it's an intruder. I don't mean that. So, a lot of my people that have back issues, we use this same exercise, help correct back and start training rotational intent. So, I'm gonna do a forward progression. Oh, Kevin's here. What's up, John? So, I'm gonna do a progression of forward walking, right? So what I'm doing is I'm learning how to drive off my back hip, right? I'm gonna spiral that back hip when I step. Spiral that back hip, reset. So, I'm gonna go away from you. I want you to watch how when I dump it down to swing it around, watch how I flare out my back heel, how that forced me to turn from my hip, right? What is this good for? Baseball players, right? You guys gotta push that back leg. Golfers, you gotta push that back leg, right? I know there's different ways to golf, right? The way I was taught, spiral with the back leg, right? I want you to watch the foot. Watch my right foot, right? Spiral. Load, spiral. I spiral. I spiral. I spiral. Spiral. Spiral catch. Spiral catch. What am I doing the whole time? I'm landing head over foot. Head over foot. Using my core muscles, using my lats. Almost lost my bounce. Almost lost my obliques, but I didn't fall because I was coiling. And I'm going through as I go. Besides the fact that I weigh 275, and I'm sweating because it's hot, it's also a great exercise for getting your cardio up. So, a lot of people say, Jay, how do I get rid of this? They think they're gonna do abs. Well, it's not your abs, it's your cardio that's gonna fucking burn fat. But if you can combine the two together, something like this, and you get all those muscles getting you stretched out and elongated while getting your heart rate up, these are fucking phenomenal. If you got any kind of back pain, I hate doing abs because most of the stuff that people traditionally do puts a ton of pressure on my hip flexors. I feel so good after these. Like if I have to do a heavy leg day, like squats, deadlift, benches, whatever, and if my back's just locked up, typically I'll use some kind of rotational motion to loosen up my hips and my hip flexors, right? If this is tight and this is underactive, by activating this, it's gonna help relax this. When one muscle's tight, we use the other muscle to help stretch and relax it and balance it out. This is a phenomenal exercise for getting motion back inside of your game, right? And a lot of you guys that are golfers, right? What can I do to get my golf game better? It's all from the hips. I'm spiraling and I'm turning. All you baseball throwers, right? All you strikers for MMA. Anybody who's playing tennis, right? You're swinging back and forth. All those motions you'll be doing for your day-to-day sports and day-to-day activities, right? That's the Bulgarian bag right there. So, it's a very unique tool. You can get them on Amazon. They're not cheap, but they're not expensive also. Don't buy the knockoffs. Get the real ones. Pay the extra money. The fucking knockoffs are gonna break right away on you. Trust me, I learned that one the hard way. If you're not sure how to use Bulgarian bags and you need some more information, reach out to us, because one of two things. One, we're gonna be doing more videos in the next couple of weeks, and we'll put them up on our website with the next level step of how to learn how to use this phenomenal tool. I like to do this when I'm doing my cardio. So I'll do the Versa Climber or the assault bike for a minute, and then I'll do the Bulgarian bags for a minute. And I just flip-flop back and forth, and it kicks the shit out of me. I think last month, I did my in-body. I lost 15 pounds and dropped my body fat percentage by like 6 or 7%. And a lot of it was because of the work I did with the Bulgarian bags worked in to my cardio, right? I'm focusing on burning visceral fat right now. That's where all my fucking fat goes. Or because if you're trying the exercise out and if you're just having a hard time or you just can't connect the dots in your mind, reach out to me, because either one of my coaches will reach out to you, and more than likely what we'll ask you to do is send us a quick 30 to 60 second video of you actually doing the exercise, and we can see specifically what you're doing wrong, and then we might even be able to send you a video back. You know, don't worry about it, we'll do it for free. We'll be able to send you a video back showing you, hey, listen, Mary, John, Steve, you know, whoever you are at the time, sorry, I don't know who's watching this right now. Here's how I want you to fix it. Here's what I want you to do. Try that again, let me know how it works. And we'll go back and forth to kind of get you going in the right direction. If you need more help after that, obviously we have higher levels to this stuff that we can talk to about later on. But for that initial, like, listen, I'm just stuck on this exercise right now, drop us a text message, DM, email, let us help you out, man. You know, I know a lot of companies charge for that shit, but, you know, we're all about giving first, and then, you know, karma will get us later on. So guys, I hope that helped you guys out. Thanks for tuning in today. If you need to know where to find Bulgarian bags, reach out. If you have questions, reach out. If you haven't done so, follow me on social media. Check out jasonfitness.com, best fitness website there is. And how long did we go on this video?
14.
14 minutes. It was better than the last one. The last one was 20. Guys, thanks for stopping by today. See you in the next one.